in this Big 12 rivalry.
Down the left side, a leaping effort, and a catch for the touchdown! Are you kidding me?
Two-point conversion try. Purdy back to pass. Throws late. It is. Motley's got it. Intercepted. The Sooners have dodged a bullet.
Now, with the Sooners seething off an upset, and the Cyclones relishing their role as underdogs, and sure to be high scoring, Oklahoma and Iowa State on Saturday Night Football.
And welcome everyone to Jack Trice Stadium on the campus of Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa. A chilly early October night. The temperature in the mid-50s. We will have fans here tonight. About 15,000 socially distanced as the Cyclones play host to the Oklahoma Sooners. Hi everybody, welcome. Sean McDonough along with Todd Blackledge. Delighted to have you with us as we get a look at the Sooners, who have dominated the Big 12, especially lately. They've won the last 5 conference titles outright. But Todd, some wonder if this team is as good as it's been in recent years. They look vulnerable after an opening loss at home last week to K-State. And Iowa State thinks this could be the year they make the move from becoming very good to perhaps a conference champion.
Yeah, it's been a real steady build under Matt Campbell. This is his 5th year. They went from just trying to be competitive to winning some tough games to now taking that next step. Can they contend for a conference championship? He's got a very mature, experienced defense. He's got a savvy veteran quarterback. And I think with Oklahoma, they're a little wobbly coming in here tonight. They're still the champions. The road to the Big 12 championship still runs through Norman. But Iowa State's in a great position to take a big step forward tonight.
Oklahoma with its 4th different starting quarterback in the last 4 years, and head coach Lincoln Riley hopes that Spencer Rattler, the new starter, is as good as his predecessors. Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray won the Heisman. Jalen Hurts was the runner-up last year for the Heisman Trophy. All of them were transfers. Spencer Rattler was not. They recruited him right out of high school, Pinnacle High in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. He was the #1 quarterback recruit in the country, and as you watch him play, you can see why.
He's the least experienced of those guys, but probably the most gifted passer of all of them. He's really special. What makes him so is he's got a lightning quick release, but it really starts with his footwork and his balance. When he comes out of a fake or a drop, his lower body is ready to let it rip, so he can fit the ball in tight windows with that confidence in his arm. He hasn't been perfect, but he has thrown 8 touchdowns in his first 2 games. But the 3 interceptions last week, evidence that he's still young and learning on the job.
And his opposite number, the Iowa State starting quarterback, also from Arizona, out of Perry High and Gilbert, is Brock Purdy. He said this is a huge night for the program as they try to take that next step, Todd McShay. And if they're going to do it, he has to play better, less mistake-prone football tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's not going to be the #1 overall pick like we saw from Oklahoma 2 years in a row, but he's going to be an NFL draft pick. And watch him tonight. I love watching Purdy's game because you see the arm angle changing, the ability to extend plays, driving the ball vertically. He is a special talent. The thing he's got to do, Sean, and you alluded to it, he's got to take the mistake out. He knows it. We talked to him. He said, you know, the younger me would want to make a big play on 3rd and long. I'm trying to learn how to check down. That's the big key for him tonight. If Iowa State's going to pull off the upset, it's got to be with Purdy playing big-time football, but also limiting some of those mistakes.
Oklahoma has absolutely dominated this rivalry, 76-6-2 all-time against Iowa State. That winning percentage of 91.7 is the highest for any team head-to-head against one opponent that they've played at least 50 times. And Iowa State hasn't defeated the Sooners here since 1960. They've lost 24 in a row here at home. We welcome in Molly McGrath. Molly, the game last year in Norman still very fresh in the mind of the Cyclones. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that's true, Sean. Iowa State players getting ready to run out of this tunnel right now with a chip on their shoulder and a memory from last year that they're trying to erase. It's been almost a year since that 1-point loss to Oklahoma. But running back Breece Hall tells me he's thought about that game almost every single day since. He could detail every single moment of the last 2 plays of that game and tells me that failed 2-point conversion attempt plays on a loop in his head like a terrible movie, and that's an ending that he's hoping to change here tonight. He says they need to take the next step as a program, win games like this to contend for the Big 12 title. So they're looking at this game as a must-win for their program, Sean.
Games have been very competitive lately. They did win in Norman, did the Cyclones in 2017. That was also a thriller. As Oklahoma won the toss, elected to receive. So it'll be Eddie Ogamba to kick off. We mentioned a cool night. The temperatures dropped a few degrees down to 50. It was in the high 20s in parts of Iowa last night. 15 degrees cooler than usual for early October. Charleston Rambo will not try to bring the kickoff out. So here is Spencer Rattler, redshirt freshman, got into 3 games behind Jalen Hurts last year. Consensus #1 recruit in the country out of Pinnacle High School in the Phoenix area. Tanner Mordecai was the primary backup last year. As we said, Rattler got some time, threw for 11,083 yards in high school, the Arizona State record. Had an up-and-down first 2 games, 8 passing touchdowns in 2 games. Only Sam Ehlinger had more, Texas with 10. Rattler's on target with the first play from scrimmage. And it's Jeremiah Hall, their tight ends, H-back types. Picked up 8 on the first play. They'll line up quickly with Rattler getting them organized.
A nice, easy completion. Again, he's coming into the game completing over 75% of his passes, 8 touchdowns. He's equally adept throwing the football on the move or out of the pocket.
Handed it off to T.J. Pledger, running right, and he has a first down across the 40 to the 43-yard line.
Todd, some guys are special. You know, it only takes like 5-6 plays to notice the way the ball just explodes off of Rattler's hand. And you can see when he gets more game experience, he's going to be one of the elite quarterbacks that Oklahoma's had. And they've had 2 #1 overall picks in the last 3 years.
2 Heisman winners and a runner-up. And he may be the best passer of all of them.
Play action fake to Pledger. Rattler going deep, has a man behind the defense. It's Charleston Rambo inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Sooners at the Cyclone 6.
Well, they had max protection. They kept the tight end in the back end, so he had extra blocking to let this play develop. Single coverage down the field. He read it. He saw his matchup, and Rambo, one of the fastest on the team, gets the first big explosive play in the passing game for the Sooners.
Rattler took a hit, but got the ball off for a 51-yard gain. Now it's back to the ground, and it's Pledger inside the 2. They'll mark it at the 1. They haven't run the ball as they customarily have under Lincoln Riley prior to tonight.
And I think that's the difference, has to be the difference in the game. Coming into the game, 127 yards per game rushing. That is well below what they're used to. I think for them to win tonight, they're going to have to run the ball for about 175 yards or more. I really think they've got to take some pressure off the young quarterback with their run game.
Clemson has done better in average yards per carry the last 2 years. They try to jam it in at the goal line. Jeremiah Hall got stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and goal. A unique structure of this Iowa State defense. They run out of a 3-3-5 that they've had a lot of success with the last few years.
Well, that's primarily what they're going to do in the field. Right here, they're going to have to try to batten down the hatches, get a couple extra big bodies in there, anticipating run and win.
Been a loss of a half a yard for Hall. The freshman Seth McGowan, the running back, he's been their leading rusher, and he got belted down shy of the goal line by one of the safeties. They play with 3 of them. It's Lawrence White, the 5th-year senior from Bakersfield, California, and it looks like Oklahoma, after a moment's hesitation, will send the field goal team on, or will they? It looks like they will.
Yeah, the good thing about that tackle by Lawrence White is he hit him high. If he goes low below the waist, the running back's going to fall into the end zone. He hit him high and drove him down.
So a nice stand by the Iowa State defense. Here's Gabe Burkich, who didn't miss a kick last year. 17 for 17 in field goals. And that kick is good. An 18-yard field goal for Gabe Burkich, who's now made 18 field goals in a row. And that adds to his Oklahoma record for consecutive field goals made. So here are the Cyclones on offense. After the defense stood up at the goal line and held the Sooners to 3. And there's Breece Hall, the leading rusher in the Big 12 through 2 games. And there's Brock Purdy at a record-setting season last year. Passing yardage mark, passing touchdowns, and a single-season Cyclone record with 6 300-yard passing games.
Very competitive kid, and he can make plays with his feet as well as his arm.
Junior from Gilbert, Arizona. He's on target, and that'll be a first down for Iowa State on the completion of Xavier Hutchinson. Fittingly, Xavier is the ex-receiver, newcomer out of Blinn Junior College. Purdy making his 26th career start. 15-9 as the signal caller for the Cyclones. Nick Benito took down Breece Hall.
You know, it's funny with a guy like Brock Purdy, when you talk to his coaches, there's a fine line, a balance between you want him to make better decisions, take better care of the ball, not trying to make every play like Todd talked about before the game, but you don't want to push too hard and take away that instinct and take away his competitiveness. So you got to really walk that fine line with a guy like that.
Tom Manning, the offensive coordinator, said he's as competitive as anybody's coach. They bring pressure at him. He escapes, lofts it down the field, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Chase Allen, part of a deep and talented tight end group for Iowa State.
Well, here's where you see his escapability, his ability to leave the pocket when it collapses. But he keeps his eyes downfield, and he makes a nice throw. This is a nice touch throw. The receiver had it, but a really nice hustle play from behind to knock that ball out.
He's really comfortable in chaos.
So far this year, they have been phenomenal on third down. Only 9% conversions their opponents have had. So this kind of plays right into the best thing that Oklahoma has been doing on defense so far this season.
Well, they held K-State last week to 2 for 11. Missouri State 0 for 11 in the opener. Purdy again scrambles, throws on the run, wide open receiver, and Landon Akers would have had a touchdown, but he went down on a knee to take it inside the 20-yard line.
Well, the reason this play works is because of the ability of the quarterback to leave the pocket. If you take a look, Landon Akers is going to run all the way across the field. He's not a primary receiver, but because Purdy was able to extend the play, nobody ran with Akers to the opposite sideline, and the quarterback's able to hit him with the football.
They marked him down at the 23. It's a 35-yard gain. Here's Breece Hall, couple of spin moves to stay on his feet. Twisting like a cyclone, if cyclones twist. I know tornadoes do.
That was a good run. You know, you break tackles by running that way. I mean, he's spinning. As soon as you think you got a good shot on him, he's spinning out of it. And he turned that into a very positive gain with that unique style.
And for 154 last week in their win at TCU, it's got them back on track. They had a sloppy opener and lost here at home to Louisiana. Purdy given time this time. Throws on the run. And it's an incomplete pass.
That's good work by the two officials. One official was looking to see if the ball was caught. The other official was looking to see if the feet were in bounds. The ball was caught. The feet were out of bounds. That's good work by the two officials on the sideline.
So it's 3rd down and 5 for the Cyclones at the Oklahoma 18, 3-0 Sooners early on. Purdy running out of time, tries to zing one for Charlie Kohler and was broken up by the veteran safety, Pat Fields, junior from Tulsa, honorable mention all-conference last year.
It was excellent coverage by Oklahoma because that was plenty of protection for Brock Purdy to survey the field. He started by reading left. He came back to the other side of the field, and there was nobody open. That was tight coverage everywhere. A little bit of maybe a hold that Fields got away with on the tight end, but good coverage nonetheless.
Connor Solly, fifth-year senior from Naperville, Illinois. Third year as their place kicker. This is from 35 to tie it, and it is good. So each team has kicked a field goal as we welcome back in Todd McShay. You know, the misnomer, Todd, about Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley, they fling it all over the field. They've actually run more running plays over 5 years than passing plays, but this year the run game really not effective.
Yeah, and it's been really the most consistent aspect of Oklahoma over the last few years. Their ability to run the football. And Bill Bedenbaugh, I think, is one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. And yeah, they lost 4 guys to the NFL in the first 4 rounds 2 years ago. They're developing guys up front, but they're not as physical as they have been. And we talked to Lincoln, and he said, you know, it has been our staple. Everything that we do works off of the run game and the ability to work play action and to basically move things forward. And we're not where we need to be, but I do think, is what he said, I do think that we're going to get there soon.
Without Kennedy Brooks, who was their second leading rusher behind the quarterback Jalen Hurts last year, he opted out. Ramondre Stevenson still suspended. They hope to get him back. Trey Sermon transferred to Ohio State.
And they don't have a quarterback run game like they used to as well.
Leaning on the freshman, Seth McGowan. Charleston Rambo slipped as he took the Eddie Ogamba kickoff. And he never really did get much momentum. 1st and 10, Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler after the play fake. On target for a first down. It's Marvin Mims, true freshman out of Frisco, Texas. Caught 8 balls in the first 2 games to be their leading receiver.
3 of those for touchdowns. And, you know, we talk about Purdy leaving the pocket and how comfortable he is. So far, we've seen Spencer Rattler also getting flush, not losing his poise, keeping his vision downfield, and then the little flick of the wrist to get the football where he wants it to go.
16-yard gain. Now a big hole as they try to get that running game going. It is McGowan, true freshman from Dallas, Texas.
Well, I agree with what Todd McShay was saying. Bill Bedenbaugh is one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coach in college football. I mean, he is going to get this group where he wants it. We showed you the guys they're missing, the running back. And then you had their leading rusher last year was their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He ran for over 1,200 yards. It's a different offense right now.
Shovel pass and plenty of room for Seth McGowan. Inside the 35 and chopped down by Greg Eisworth, the safety. Big gainer for Oklahoma. That's 35 yards.
This is a neat little shovel pass because they fake it first. They fake it and then shovel to the same guy they faked to. And a nice job getting down the field. Tyrese Robinson, number 52, the guard, down there leading the way. You always can count on Lincoln Riley to have a couple little quirky kind of plays. That one was fun to see.
Another play fake by Spencer Rattler. He's on target. Out wide again to Marvin Mims. And he's out of bounds near another first down. Looks like he has it at the Cyclones 20.
Talked about this Iowa State defense. A lot of experience, a lot of veteran guys. Their whole linebacking core played a lot of ball. Their 2 starting safeties played a lot. Jaquan Bailey, who was the co-player of the week conference defense last week, haven't heard from him yet.
Here's McGowan struggling to find room. Did well to get inside the 5. They bought the ball at the 5. Jade Humphrey felt his play wasn't as good last year as a sophomore. Some thought he'd leave for the NFL or opt out this season. He said, no, I definitely need to regain my focus and reestablish myself at the top of my game.
And I think he's got a different sense of urgency. I think a lot of players, they weren't sure they were going to play at all. Now they get to play. I think he's taking better care of his body, his preparation, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything is a little bit different than it was a year ago.
Out of the gun. Rattler running out of time, steps through the crowd, goes up and into the end zone for a touchdown.
talked about quarterback run. This was not by design. This defense is a rush 3, drop 8. And when you're this close to the goal line, there aren't many windows to throw. And Spencer Rattler saw that and made a great decision when he saw some opening to get that ball to the end zone.
View of it from the progressive pylon camera. His first career rushing touchdown. The extra point up and good by Burkich.
Well, they talked Lincoln Riley into going for it on 4th and 1, and then they get a touchdown on the back end of it.
From Spencer Rattler, it's 10-3 Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler apparently persuasive with his head coach. They go for the 4th down, convert, and cash it in with a touchdown. Now Gabe Burkich kicks off. Today in Wangu. Good kickoff return man. Scampers out of bounds across the 30. Brock Purdy is the quarterback. Breece Hall, the running back on his right hip. Quick throw, caught, nice move after the catch. Charlie Kohler, the All-American last year and academic All-American, all the way out to the 49-yard line.
You called it the great move. Watch how he feels where the defender is. That's Radley Hiles to his inside, and he just instinctively spun back and added about 12 more yards to that catch because of his instincts. Only 11 takeaways last season, only 1 so far in the first 2 games this year. This is a team that was -8 in turnover margin and still made the playoffs.
And we saw earlier in the game tonight, Pat Fields made a great play, knocked the ball down, but didn't have an interception. Should have been able to take it away.
Purdy has his man. First down at the 15-yard line. It's Charlie Kohler again for a 22-yard completion.
Well, the defender slipped a little bit. Delarian Turner-Yell kind of slipped at the end of this play, and that enabled separation. But again, it's the mobility of the quarterback Purdy drifting to his left a little bit to allow that play to open for his favorite target, Kohler.
Iowa State on the move again with a minute to go in the first quarter. Trailing 10-3. Hall dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Deshaun White, who's taken over at middle linebacker for Kenneth Murray, who was a standout in the middle of that defense last year and was a first-round pick of the Los Angeles Chargers, number 23 overall.
Yeah, this is good, solid defense, good run fits. Everybody where they're supposed to be. Deshaun White is the guy that made the tackle. The guy next to him, Brian Asamoah, is the guy that forced the play. He got into the backfield and forced that thing to bounce.
Loss of a yard. Final seconds of an entertaining first quarter here in Ames. Purdy under duress. Tried to hit the quick hitter to Kohler. Falls incomplete.
Well, this is a missed assignment up front because Harrion Winfrey just came untouched to the quarterback. I don't know how Purdy even got rid of that ball. He got the right guard here, number 55. It looks like he whiffs on this time. He steps inside. Nobody takes that defensive tackle, and Purdy very lucky to even get rid of that football.
Darrell Simmons playing guard tonight. Redshirt freshman. They're without Trevor Downing. Honorable mention. All conference last year at guard, out again this week with an ankle injury. Played only 1/2 of the first game. On 3rd and 11, jump ball for Kohler, and it falls incomplete. There is a flag down near the goal line. Pat Fields had the coverage.
Well, and again, you see that Purdy is going to give his guys chances. I mean, his receivers and tight ends have a huge size advantage.
Number 10, defense. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Pat Fields was in coverage that time. He's the guy that held. Look at this difference. The average height of the wide receivers and tight ends, 6'4", working against 5'10". And Brock Purdy is saying, he's already shown us tonight, I'm going to throw the football up and give my guys a chance to either come down with the ball or draw a pass interference penalty.
Grew up big Sooner fans. We mentioned both his parents worked at the University of Oklahoma. Wanted an offer, didn't get one. Perion Winfrey dumping Brees Hall at the 9-yard line on the last play of the first quarter. Oklahoma leads, but Iowa State is on the move. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. First play of the second quarter here in Ames, Iowa. Oklahoma leading 10-3. Iowa State has it second and goal from the 9. Brock Purdy, the quarterback, throws for the back corner of the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Joe Skates, who was defended by Brendan Radley-Hiles.
Good coverage by Radley-Hiles that time. Really nowhere to put the football. A lot of shifting and movement by this Oklahoma defensive front. I thought they might get caught in the middle of a move there, but they were able to gather themselves, get a little pressure, and then good coverage downfield.
Matt Campbell, the job he has done here at Iowa State. Trying to take that next step in the conference championship. They've won only 2 in the history of the program. Good twisting up front leads to pressure and a throwaway by Brock Purdy, who has never turned the ball over in the red zone. He's been prone to the big mistake from time to time, including last week at TCU, but not when they get in the red zone.
Well, Benito got the quick pressure. He came on the inside move. We saw him leave the field a couple possessions ago. Good to see him back out there. And that pressure forced Purdy to leave the pocket and throw the ball away.
Now Connor Solly came here as a walk-on. He's had a terrific career, now on scholarship. 3rd year as their starting kicker, and that one is good. So it's 10-6, 15 seconds into the second quarter.
Lincoln Riley said he has great inner belief, which is important for a quarterback, and he has it.
Short kickoff by Eddie Ogamba. T.J. Pledger across the 30. Slipping as he tried to turn the corner. T.J. Pledger lost a yard.
Talked about the running game and what Lincoln Riley really likes to do. I mean, 2 years ago in 2018, they averaged 6.6 yards per rush. That was the best in college football. Last year was 6 yards per carry. Coming into the night, they were down to 3.6. That isn't the standard that Oklahoma likes when it comes to running the football.
As a result, he has called fewer running plays. They get pressure with 3. But Rattler gets away again. Tries to zing one to the near sideline for Charleston Rambo. It's incomplete. Again, Uzurike put the pressure on Annie Uzurike, number 58. They had 10 sacks in their first 2 games. They had 6 last week at TCU. A lot of pressure out of that 3-down lineman. 3-down lineman alignment.
They tell those guys to just pin their ears back and go for the quarterback. And again, no threat of the quarterback run by design this year.
They dial up the blitz, and the ball's up for grabs and caught near the 20-yard line by Austin Stogner. With the blitz, they had single coverage from Kamani King, a backup safety.
They brought the safety, Greg Eisworth, and Rattler does a great job just getting rid of the football. He knows he has single coverage, and the defender just doesn't make a play on the ball. Stogner's a bigger body. As a tight end, he's kind of able to kind of move him out of the way and make his way to the football. But that was nice by Rattler, just getting it out.
Yeah, I'm standing behind Rattler, just watching him. I had no idea how he got that ball away.
Good for a 31-yard gain and a first down. Oklahoma on the move again. Pledger stacked up. Gain of 2. Seth McGowan, the running back now. Riley calls him explosive. They faked it to him, and it's first and goal on another pop to Austin Stogner, the sophomore from Plano, Texas.
This is really a good play design because they fake the counter, which they run a lot. You see a guard and a tackle both pulling. That says run to linebackers. They step up, you throw it right behind them to a big target Stogner, who's had a nice series on this possession.
Seventh play of the drive. Wide open in the flat. It's Jeremiah Hall for a Sooner touchdown.
Even though Oklahoma has not run the ball well in the first half, the threat of the run and the fake of the run is still holding defenders. And that time another wide open receiver for the touchdown, Jeremiah Hall.
For 4 yards on first and goal. Second touchdown of the season for the redshirt junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Already has his degree in health and exercise science. Gabe Perkich continues to make everything. The lead is 11 for the Sooners on the road in Ames, Iowa.
I do know the answer to that, I think.
Because you looked at the notes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I read the notes, but don't cheat. How is that cheating?
Did you read them just now, or
No,
you remember from reading it a while ago?
I'm doing my research.
Okay. Gabe Perkich's kickoff brought back by Kene and Wangu. Mentioned earlier, he's a very good kickoff.
Can't trust
return man.
Blackledge at all.
On first down, Brock Purdy on target. Tariq Milton turns and has plenty of running room. He's across midfield and run down in OU territory. They're going to mark him down at the 43-yard line.
Well, short completion and one poor tackle attempt by Brendan Radley-Hiles, and the next thing you know, you've got a huge play. It's man coverage, there's the catch, there's the missed tackle, and a lot of green grass, and excellent blocking by Hutchinson down the field, the other receiver.
42-yard play, 37 of that after the catch for Tariq Milton.
Pass.
Yep, that was a backward pass. Dylan Sainer fires, and that one is caught by Chase Allen. One tight end to another. And a nice play call and a good time by Tom Manning. Back-to-back big plays for the Cyclones.
Dylan Sainer was a baseball pitcher in high school and supposedly could throw 90 miles per hour. Didn't need to throw that one that hard, but he got it.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
You see Sainer coming out in motion, gets well behind the quarterback to make the double pass legal. It was pretty good coverage, but just an outstanding individual effort by Allen to extend for the football.
He moves Sainer around all over the place. Fullback, tight end. First and 10. Cyclones at the Sooners 15. Iowa State down by 11. There's Breece Hall. A lot of folks around the country haven't heard of the sophomore from Wichita, but he's emerged as one of the best running backs in the country.
He had 110 yards against Oklahoma last year in Norman. He's had kind of a quiet night so far, but coming off a huge game in Fort Worth a week ago.
Leading the Big 12 in rushing coming in. Leading the country among those who have played at least 2 games. They toss it out to him again. He's very near the first down. Came up about a yard short at the 6-yard line. Here's a big 3rd down and 1 for Matt Campbell and the OC Tom Manning.
Well, you've got a mobile quarterback if you want to put it in Brock Purdy's hands, but you've got a tailback that's been pretty reliable and doesn't let go of the football. I think you give it to Breece Hall here.
Now 3rd down and 6. 5 minutes to go in the half. Hall in trouble behind the line. Breaks a couple of tackles. Has the first down. Near the 2-yard line. Nice run by Hall. And a missed opportunity to drop that play for a loss by the Sooner defense. Nick Benito whiffed.
And watch the block by Sainer. We saw him throw a pass. He gets the key block here. Nice job running out of a would-be tackle, and that's just an effort run by Breece Hall to get the first down.
Trey Norwood who whiffed. 13.
What a huge conversion after that costly penalty. This might be a quarterback run.
Purdy out of the gun. And Breece Hall into the end zone for the Cyclone touchdown. His 5th rushing touchdown in just 3 games this season.
Beautiful job by Derek Schwager, the left guard. Starting on that side tonight. Nice double team with the left guard in the center. Then Schwager comes off onto the next defender. And a good power run by Breece Hall to get the touchdown. See, that was the possession I was talking about.
So now we're going to stay.
We can stay now.
Instead of the previous possession, we didn't score.
No, you said
might be over.
No, I didn't say it might be over.
I just turned my car off.
You put words in my
mouth. Come back, Todd. That is. Extra point is good. Entertaining first half. Oklahoma leads at the break 17-13. And we'll send you to the studio for the Dish halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Oklahoma winners of the last 5 Big 12 conference titles, leading here in Ames, Iowa 17-13 over Iowa State. And for the start of the 3rd quarter, Sean McDonough and Todd Blackledge. Down on the field, it's Todd McShay and Molly McGrath. Nice first half for Spencer Rattler, the Oklahoma redshirt freshman quarterback. Went 13 for 17 for 201.
Yeah, I'd say he is as good as advertised. I mean, he was very comfortable up until the last part of that 2nd quarter when Iowa State was able to pressure him a little bit.
Gabe Burkich kicks off. Today, and Wangu is going to bring it out. And he got stood up as he got to the 20, and he said, I'm going to stand you up to a couple of the Sooners. Woody Washington went for a ride before finally getting him down. On first down, Brock Purdy. That was a nifty play. And it's Breece Hall for about 12 and a first down. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, I asked Iowa State's Matt Campbell, how do you get more going offensively? He said, well, they haven't stopped us much. We're still moving the ball well. We're just not finishing drives. He likes Brock Purdy's poise, especially in the first half, but he said people around him aren't playing very well. He doesn't like the discipline of his team and said, this is a challenge to our culture because we played so poorly in the first half, but we're still right there. This is a winnable game for us.
When we first got here to Iowa State, inherited a program with very little success in its history. Nice play by Breece Hall. Boy, that looked like it would be a loss. Instead, he turned it into a gain. And the Cyclone fans want a late hit out of bounds. He gets shoved out by Brian Asamoah.
Well, first of all, Deshaun White had him dead to rights in the backfield and missed the tackle, and just an instinctive spin and go out the other way by Breece Hall. You're right, that should have been about a 4-yard loss had Deshaun White been able to make the tackle, but instead it's a first down.
12-yard gain.
Breece Hall up to 62 yards now on 14 carries. Coming off of that 154-yard gain last week.
Here he comes again, running right. That's 4 more. They're into Sooner territory. Iowa State has not led in this game. Biggest lead is 17-6.
It was interesting what Matt said to Molly, that this is a very winnable game, and it is. I mean, they are right where they want to be with the 5-time defending Big 12 champions. It is a winnable game, and for them to take the next step in their program, these are the kind of games they have to find a way to win.
Exactly what Brock Purdy, the quarterback, said when we visited with him. He gets away from rushers, dumps it off for Charlie Kohler. That's another first down. Trey Brown chopped him down, but it goes to the Sooner 33.
Just great poise again by Brock Purdy. I mean, he feels the pressure, but he doesn't panic. He moves, he drifts, he steps up, but he keeps his eyes downfield, and he's able to find his tight end, who he has so much faith in, for another first down.
He's completely comfortable when things are a mess around him.
Yeah, I liked how you described that earlier. He's comfortable in chaos, and he really is.
Cyclones on the move again. Down by 4 in the opening moments of the third quarter. Joins us late. They've lost 24 in a row at home to Oklahoma, dating back to 1960. Breece Hall taken down by Josh Ellison after a gain of a yard or two. There's the disparity in height you were talking about.
Well, and what we've seen Brock Purdy do is he knows that, he's aware of that, and he has confidence in his guys going up and fighting for footballs. So he's going to throw the ball in places where you say, wow, that's good coverage, but he's trusting either his guy's going to come down with the ball or they're going to draw a pass interference or a holding penalty, and that's worked out for him so far.
Purdy off his back foot, throws it up for grabs, and it's batted down. Try again to get it to Charlie Kohler, and it was Pat Fields who knocked it away.
See, that's a play that Oklahoma has got to find a way to come up with a turnover. We've talked about that's the problem. They've not been able to take the ball away. That's a bad decision by Brock Purdy. He's forcing that one into double coverage, and they're in position to make an interception. Instead, they play volleyball and knock the ball down, and they don't get the pick.
That's the third time tonight for Fields. He's in position, does a great job in coverage, but just doesn't take the ball away.
As a junior's played a lot, he's never had an interception. There hasn't been a turnover by either team in this game. Third down and goal for the Cyclones at the Oklahoma 24. Iowa State down by 4. They've hurt themselves with penalties on this drive. Breece Hall makes it an easier field goal try for Connor Asali. Marcus Stripling made the tackle. They'll try to kick their third field goal of the night for Matt Campbell to get within 1 after a 9-yard gain.
This game has had a little different feel than one a year ago. Big leads by Oklahoma 2 different times of 21 points. Both teams scoring in the 40s. Much better defense all the way around on both sides in this one.
Very good kickers in this game. Asali's 2 for 2 tonight, and now 3 for 3 as he kicks a 32-yard field goal. So they were down 17-6. They've scored 10 unanswered points, and it's a 1-point game as we approach the midpoint of the third quarter. Rambo again. Pretty good. On first down, first play from scrimmage of this half. It's a dump down to Jeremiah Hall, who got dragged down, but he has a first down with a little bit to spare as he got to the 45.
You go back to that penalty, you say, well, it's an offsides and a kickoff. It's only 5 yards, but the reality is it was a 19-yard penalty because of the difference in the return. They start on the 35. 1 play later, they're almost to the 50-yard line. So great field position for the Sooners here early in the third quarter.
Need to stay in attack mode with the lead. Seth McGowan weaves through the crowd. Gets about 8. Mike Rose made the tackle.
These have been frustrating penalties, too. Formation issues, offside on a kickoff. Like, you don't see that very often, especially from a Matt Campbell team.
In his 5th year here. He went 3-9 his first year. And 24-17 since. Winning record, at least 7 wins each of the last 3 years. They've been to a bowl game each of the last 3 seasons. Second and 5. Cyclones crowd the line of scrimmage. Rattle over the middle. First down on Austin Stogner took a hard hit and held on to the football, and they'll mark him down at the 21-yard line.
You know, it was interesting watching Lincoln on that 4th down call. He didn't hesitate for a second. He knew he was going to go for it, but they had no intention of running the football. Which is, you know, they're not the same Oklahoma team in terms of the run game and the physicality up front that they have been the last few years.
Not yet. They may get there. I mean, they've got some young, promising guys.
Go back to the ground here. A couple of nice cuts by T.J. Pledger. Their 5th leading rusher from a year ago. We mentioned Jalen Hurts was the leading rusher, the quarterback. He's with the Philadelphia Eagles. Kennedy Brooks opted out. Chase Sermon went to Ohio State. Ramondre Stevenson still suspended. So it's really on the legs now of Pledger and Seth McGowan. 3 minutes to go in a fast-moving 3rd quarter. Teams had it only once in this quarter. Rattler tucks it down again. He's across the line of scrimmage and taken down right there by Jake Hummel. They're such good tacklers. He's a senior from Des Moines.
Well, they have to be. To play this defense that they play, where they drop 8, they leave a lot of openings, and you've got to be able to tackle in space and tackle on the open field. That's what John Haycock has seen from his defense.
Coach Haycock from a coaching families. Brother Jeff, 26 years the coach at Muskingum. And we know Jim Haycock well, longtime defensive coordinator at Ohio State, now retired. Here's a big 3rd down and 5. Rattler fires to the end zone off the hands of Obi Obialo.
You know, we haven't talked about Jaquan Bailey too much in the game. I want to show you what Oklahoma did on this time. Watch Stogner. He's going to get a chip and help the left tackle. Watch him hit Bailey on his way out and then release into the route. That's one way you can take care of or try to slow down an outstanding pass rusher on the edge like Jaquan Bailey.
So here's Burkich. A little miss from 54 just before the half. His first career miss. And he's not going to miss 2 in a row. That's good from 33 yards out. Well, it was close. Beautiful tight spiral thrown by a Rattler. Obialo couldn't catch it in the end zone. He settled for 3. Alex Grinch, defensive coordinator now at Oklahoma. Matt Campbell, head coach at Iowa State. Teammates on those Mount Union powerhouse teams, late 90s, early 2000s. Grinch was a safety. Matt Campbell, 2-time All-American defensive end. Respect for each other, they're friends. Going head-to-head here tonight. They won 2 national titles together. Each one another without the other. Fully overlapped during their time in Alliance, Ohio. The play, Clemson #1. Alabama right on their heels. Tied a big win today over Texas A&M. Brock Purdy throwing deep into double coverage. And it's knocked down. He was trying to get it to Landon Akers. And it was batted out of the air by Brendan Radley Hiles.
He got hit right as he threw, and that ball kind of sailed on him. And he has Landon Akers to thank, because Landon Akers just went up and played defense and knocked that ball away. This should have been an interception, and Akers just kept fighting for the football. See, he wasn't able to step into that throw, so it kind of fluttered on him a little bit and hung in the air. And again, very lucky that he didn't get picked off.
Not been a turnover in this game. Purdy on the run, too high. Threw it over the head of Xavier Hutchinson. Each team has had it once prior to this possession for Iowa State. Iowa State had 11 plays, but had 41 yards of gains negated by penalties. Settled for a field goal. And Oklahoma's only possession of this quarter was 11 plays and a field goal. Still a 4-point game, right where we were at the half.
This is where Brock Purdy has to be very smart with the football. 3rd and long, tight, low-scoring game.
He was punted only once. Purdy lost the football. I believe he got it back after Nick Benito stripped it. He did.
Holding, number 6. Defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot results in a first down. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 36 seconds, please.
Boy, we have seen costly penalties on both teams. There's the hold immediately. Trey Brown holding on Sean Shaw as he's trying to escape. He's holding him the whole time.
My question would be, why did it take so long to sort that? It's huge. And now each team's been penalized 7 times instead of a 3-and-out. The possession continues. Cyclones from their own 35-yard line, ticking down to a minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, they reestablish Breece Hall. They faked it to him. Here's the big hitter, and it's going to be the first lead of the night for Iowa State. Xavier Hutchinson, who turned down Oklahoma and came to Iowa State, gives the Cyclones the lead on a 65-yard play.
Watch the fake by Purdy. That fake is going to hold all these guys, and he's got single coverage out here on the corner. Jaden Davis, the fake holds everybody. There's nobody in the middle of the field. Hutchinson beats Jaden Davis, and the rest is history. But the fake by Brock Purdy brought up all those defenders and opened the middle of the field beautifully.
Honor Asali adds the extra point. Xavier Hutchinson. Oklahoma came at him hard, but he had already committed Iowa State, and he honored that commitment. Trying to be a part of the first home win for ISU over Oklahoma since 1960. They've lost 24 in a row here to the Sooners. Eddie Ogamba, the kickoff. Like Rambo had a hard time picking that one up. Trailing for the first time tonight. Rattler gets rattled by a blitz off the corner from Eric Horn.
He never saw it. He is reading the left side of the formation. Usually with a right-handed quarterback, you're going to see this blitz. But watch Spencer Rattler's eyes are looking left the whole way. He never feels the blitz, and he's lucky he holds on to the football.
Loss of 8. First sack of the night for either team. Quarterbacks have done a great job dodging pressure all night and avoiding the sacks. Play clock down to 3. 2nd and 18. Rattler bought plenty of time for himself. Fires and too low. Coming open was Theo Howard, the transfer from UCLA.
He's going to get bailed out because we're going to see another late hit on Iowa State after the ball was thrown.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 32. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Gary Vaughn, backup linebacker. That's a terrible penalty, totally needless. They would have had Oklahoma in a big pile of trouble. Going down in a pile with Seth McGowan. Danny Uzurike makes the tackle. Uzurike's had a nice game, 5th-year senior out of Detroit. Might well be the last play of the 3rd quarter. It will be, as the Sooners are going to take it to the other end of the field. They're on the ropes. They haven't lost back-to-back regular season games since 1999. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message. And a word from our ABC stations. All right, Thank you, Kevin. Here it's a 3-point Iowa State lead. Spencer Rattler throws over the middle, and it's caught. Got through to Theo Howard. And it's a first down for Oklahoma out to the 45-yard line on the opening play of the fourth quarter. First catch of the night for Howard. Good for a 14-yard gain. Graduate transfer from UCLA. Played in only one game last year due to a wrist injury. That game was against Oklahoma. TJ Pledger, the running back. Flea flicker. Rattler. Long throw downfield. The sideline for Oklahoma wants a flag. They felt Marvin Mims was interfered with by Arnold Ozuna. There is no flag.
I don't think there was interference. I thought Ozuna played it perfectly. He looked back for the football. He just worked the receiver towards the sideline with his body. And that was just good discipline by the Iowa State defense. They weren't fooled by the razzle-dazzle. See him look back for the football. A little bit of fighting between the two of them, but not enough to draw a flag.
2nd and 10. Light rain has begun to fall here in Ames, and it's chilly. We're down into the high 40s now. 49 degrees with a light wind. Shovel pass. Seth McGowan lowers his head, goes down in ISU territory, about 2 yards short of the first down, and here comes a big third down for OU.
Oklahoma trying to go with a little tempo here. Iowa State trying to substitute.
3rd down and 12. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Iowa State leading by 3. Rattler 19 out of 26 for 250. They rush 5. They're in hot pursuit. Running out of time as he throws down the field and through the hands of Theo Weiss. That looked catchable, but he didn't catch it.
What a beautiful throw under major duress. I mean, Iowa State brought a blitz. They forced him out of the pocket, and on the run, you can't give your receiver a better opportunity than that. Went right through both hands of Theo Weiss.
Wow. That's a big miss. First time he's been targeted tonight. Could have made a huge play. Now they are going to try the long game-tying field goal from Burkic, who had his first career miss of any kind, extra point or field goal. He's 79 of 80 for his career, including PATs. From 51, it would be a career long into a breeze to tie it. And he is right back on track and right down the middle. And we're tied at 23 apiece with 12:48 to go.
Time to start a new streak.
Here at Iowa State. A big kick by Burkic ties it. And now he kicks off low. And it'll be a touchback. Here's Molly McGrath on the field.
Well, Sean, at the start of this quarter, Alex Grinch called his entire defense together. He was very spirited, yelling in players' faces, saying there is no scenario where we don't win in the fourth quarter. We cannot let that happen again. Pat Fields was also yelling at teammates, telling them this is the time to prove our heart, trying to incite some fight into this defense.
Well, they had the 3-touchdown lead last week against Kansas State. That Oklahoma defense gave up 7 points on K-State's first 7 possessions of the game. Then they gave up 31 points on K-State's last 6. Chance to beat a team like Oklahoma here tonight. He pitched it back to Brees Hall again, and Brian Meade made the tackle, backup linebacker. Matt Campbell said, I did get a little nervous when I found out Purdy was going to visit Alabama. It's tough to say no. But they do have a chance to do something they haven't done, including tonight. Be their first win over Oklahoma here since 1960. If they could pull it off. 24 straight home losses to OU. Purdy! The ball is out! Knocked out of his hands! And there's that turnover you were talking about. Isaiah Thomas knocked it out. And Josh Ellison took it in for Oklahoma. Just the second takeaway of the season.
Recovered by the defense. First down, Oklahoma.
For the Sooner defense.
Well, this pocket collapsed in a hurry. There's the strip sack. on the outside by Isaiah Thomas. Ellison comes up with the football. The first turnover of the game, right on time for the Oklahoma Sooners.
On first down, Pledger gets about 6. Only Rutgers, UTEP, Kansas, and NC State had fewer takeaways last year than Oklahoma, and still Oklahoma won the conference and went to the college football playoff.
They were -8 turnover margin, which is almost unheard of to be a playoff team for a national championship contending team and be on that side of the ledger for turnovers.
At the very least, they're in field goal range to retake the lead with under 10 minutes to go. Second down and 4. McGowan. It didn't look like a freshman on that run. Patience to find the hole and then accelerated through it. Big gainer inside the 20 and another first down.
Lincoln Riley told us about him, said, you know, he's got some pop. You'll see that. He's a talented, explosive freshman, and we saw him this run. He sees a crease. He does have a little about extra pop there. He fights for extra yardage, too.
Got 14 total. They're inside the 20. To go. Play fake by Rattler. Throws inside the 5. Stogner. It'll be first and goal from the 3.
Beautiful work by Spencer Rattler. They go play action. They're going to pull the backside guard and tackle. But watch Rattler have to step up in the pocket and just buy himself a little time. Steps up. Steve Stogner gets him the football. Never loses his poise. Never breaks down on the play.
5 catches for Austin Stogner. He's the leading receiver in the game. Rattler up to 266 through the air.
I like that fullback out in the flat. There he is.
Yep. Looks like the touchdown earlier to Jeremiah Hall. That one was a 4-yarder. And this one gives Oklahoma the lead on a 3-yard Rattler to Hall touchdown pass.
This one was easier than the first one. Here's Jeremiah Hall. Watch him just slip out. Jaquan Bailey wasn't sure whether to rush, go with the receiver. Nobody ran with them. That was Mike Rose getting there late, and that's obviously a breakdown on the Iowa State defense on that goal line play.
And if you know they like that play, you would think,
yeah,
Iowa State, that's a pretty good idea, especially since they already ran that play for a touchdown in the first half or something similar to it. Well, you said it. The turnover, the first one of the game, might be the most important play, and right now it is. Thomas, the strip, and they converted it in to 7. 30-23 Oklahoma, 8:17 to go in Ames. Spencer Rattler, the redshirt freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, looking very much like the young man who was the consensus #1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school. He's 21 for 29 for 269 and 2 touchdowns, including the go-ahead pass to Jeremiah Hall. Both of them have been short throws to Hall for the 2 touchdown passes. Kene Nwangu across midfield. Burkett, the kicker, couldn't get him. Ken Washington, he shoves him out of bounds. But what a return by Kene Nwangu.
He is very confident as a kick returner. We saw him take one 3 yards deep earlier in the ball game. This is a return set up on the left side all the way across the field. You see him outrun the angle of Burkett, and Woody Washington lucky to knock him out of bounds. But what an answer for the Iowa State Cyclones. After giving up the touchdown after the turnover, they are right in the red zone for Brock Purdy and the Cyclone offense.
85-yard kickoff return for Nwangu, fifth-year senior from Frisco, Texas. Came into tonight for his career, averaging 26.1 per kickoff return in his career, 5th best among all active players in the country. That's one of the biggest of his career. Breece Hall, who was having his left ankle taped, While Oklahoma was scoring that go-ahead touchdown, he gets 2. Under 8 minutes to go. Oklahoma back on top by 7. Sean White made the tackle on Hall. Been a long time since they got it to Charlie Kohler. He was a frequent target early in the game. Oklahoma's defense paying a lot of attention to him. Here's Kohler, jump ball, and they throw a flag. Looked like some hand fighting by both of them, but you wonder if it's going against Brendan Radley-Hiles.
6'6", 257. 44. Defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. Ball replaced at the 2-yard line. It's an automatic first down.
Brendan Radley-Hiles is listed at 5'9", 180. I think he's even shorter than that.
I'm going to go 5'7".
He's grabbing, he's fighting, he's clawing. He's got no chance. And credit Brock Purdy for just putting that ball in a position where his guy can go and either catch it or draw that penalty. And now they've got the ball at the 2-yard line.
8th Oklahoma penalty for 88 yards. Iowa State's been flagged 9 times for 90. 3 yards away and an extra point from a tie. Then they punch it in. Purdy wants to do it himself, and he does. Brock Purdy from 3 yards out. Family celebrates. They're not used to this kind of weather in Arizona, especially not in October. Now a huge extra point from Connor Asali. And it is good. All set up by the big kickoff return. Today in Wongu. Great speed. His 10th career kickoff return of more than 40 yards. And then from just inside the 3, officially a 2-yard touchdown for Brock Purdy. Well, this crowd is alive. 15,000, but they're making more noise than you would expect from 15,000. They are loving the opportunity to be here tonight. And they're loving what their Cyclones just did. Tied it up at 30. Tied at 30 apiece midway through the 4th quarter. TJ Pledger on 1st and 10. Weaves ahead for about 3.
Time left for Spencer Rattler. There's no sense of urgency. It's a tie ball game. Be smart with the football.
He's played mistake-free football so far tonight. Steps into a bomb down the field, and it is incomplete. Leaping effort by the true freshman Marvin Mims.
Lawrence White made a beautiful play. I mean, he is isolated in coverage. He goes up and gets a hand in between the 2 hands of Marvin Mims and knocks that ball out. Really athletic play by White. That was a beautiful throw, too.
Yeah, boy, did he throw a beautiful ball. Really at every level of the field. But great touch, short and intermediate. And a strong and accurate arm down the field.
Now it's 3rd and 12. You're really behind the chains.
John Haycock rushed forward, and they get to Rattler. Back inside the 20. Mike Rose leading the way, the linebacker on the blitz.
They have been very timely when they've decided to blitz. Here's Mike Rose coming here. They're bringing pressure from the outside. They're coming after the young quarterback. They drop a defensive lineman into coverage. They go after him with linebackers, and they get him on the ground for a sack.
Will McDonald really first there. He does a terrific job as a rush end. They consider him a 3rd down specialist, and he certainly was there. So here's just the 2nd punt of the night for Oklahoma's Reeves Munshaw. That one blocked by K-State last week. That was a big play. Got this one off. And a fair catch made in traffic by Greg Eisworth. So excellent field position for Iowa State. Cyclones at their own 45. Brees Hall trying to get outside left, and he gets tackled around the legs. Nice play by Isaiah Thomas. It had the big strip of Brock Purdy that set up the go-ahead score not long ago for Oklahoma.
This is a tough situation for Tom Manning. You know, it's a tie ball game. You got to score again. You can't get complacent here. You can't get conservative. You got to believe that Oklahoma has got a few tricks left up their sleeve to find a way to position your team to score one more time here.
Purdy, beautiful throw on the quick slant to Charlie Kohler. The Oklahoma fan growing up, grew up right in Norman. His parents both worked at the University of Oklahoma.
That was a beautiful throw. Timing, little RPO type action. You fake, you hold the linebackers, and you throw right behind them to the big tight end.
Well, not only a terrific tight end, but 3.98 GPA.
Easy major there, right?
On first down, it's Brees Hall. He doesn't go down. He might go all the way. They finally wrestle him down inside the 10-yard line. What a run by Brees Hall. It finally took Trey Brown to get him on the ground after Nick Bonito couldn't do it.
Give Hall a lot of credit. He had to talk his way back into the game with the left ankle injury that he had. The trainers looked at him and he said, you know what, I'm going in. Doesn't matter. And to have that big play right there is huge.
Yeah, and just, you know, poor tackling by Oklahoma. We saw this last week in a couple instances in the meltdown against Kansas State, and it couldn't have happened at a worse time right now.
36-yard run, fourth play of 30-plus. He stays on his feet again and scores. Touchdown, Iowa State. The Cyclones go back on top with 4:06 to go.
Credit Tom Manning, Brock Purdy, and this Iowa State offense for keeping the pedal to the metal, staying aggressive, running right at this Oklahoma defense. And for the first time tonight, this Oklahoma defense has the look of defeat a little bit. That possession, they didn't tackle well. They got out of gaps. It's the first time we've really seen that out of their defense tonight.
Big extra point here for a 7-point lead. Honor Asali, it's up and good. Brees Hall quiet for a lot of the night. But he stepped to the forefront when his team needed him most. Showed some great balance on that drive. He's rushed for 129 and 2 touchdowns. Iowa State, are they 4:06 away from their first win over OU here since 1960? On a chilly night in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Cyclones have taken a 7-point lead over Oklahoma on a touchdown run by Brees Hall. Eddie Ogamba kicks off to Charleston Rambo. He's going to try it from the goal line. Can the Sooners get a big kickoff return? Yes, they can. Very nicely done across the 35-yard line. They'll throw it out wide for a short completion to Charleston Rambo. He's the main man out wide now with the departure of C.D. Lamb to the NFL after last season.
We had the long catch early in the ballgame. He's been very quiet. That's just his third catch now after that big one early. But he's your veteran guy. He's the guy who has to step up and make some tough plays for you.
Spencer Rattler's been poised all night. Making plays with his arm and his feet. McGowan reverses field. Got
too much dancing.
Yeah, a lot of dancing. Then he ran into Rattler, and he goes down for a loss. Swarmed under. They're going to give him forward progress, if that's what you would call it, to about the 35-yard line.
That is a really, really bad play for Oklahoma. It was well defended. You just take what you can get. But instead, you put your quarterback and your pass offense in a very difficult third down situation. Iowa State has chosen to bring pressure the last couple third downs. Let's see what they do here.
2:45 to go. 2 timeouts for each team. 3rd down and 10.
Coming again.
Rattler, man open short of the first down. And Theo Weiss can't get there. He had a huge drop, if you will, on a ball that went through his hands not long ago. Will McDonald took him down, and what will Lincoln Riley do now? Looks like they'll go for it with the clock running. And John Haycock with one of the biggest defensive calls of his career. Oklahoma hasn't lost back-to-back regular season games since 1999. They need to convert. Did he hang on? Yes, he did.
Ruling on the field as a completed pass. First down, Oklahoma.
Charleston Rambo to the 49-yard line. Did he have possession as he went across the boundary?
I think he did. That was pretty clean.
Huge conversion, 8 yards. Oklahoma, the situation now where the field goal does them no good. They need 51 more and an extra point to tie. T.J. Pledger swung down by Mike Rose to the 46-yard line of the Cyclones.
Oklahoma going tempo, sense of urgency. They're down 7, but they also have 2 timeouts to use.
On 2nd and 5. Pressure in his face. Rattler hit as he threw it, and it floats out of bounds in the direction of Jeremiah Hall.
Mike Rose in the backfield again. They've been very aggressive coming after the young quarterback. You don't always know where the pressure's coming from. Mike Rose comes right inside, beats the block of the tailback Pledger, and forces Rattler to throw that one away.
Pledger could have done a better job there. More time for Rattler. 3rd down and 5. 1:23 to go. Rattler throws over the middle, man wide open. It's Hall with another big catch. 2 touchdown receptions for him tonight. That one just as big. They're down to the 34-yard line.
Really nice concept that time between Hall and Stogner and Pledger. 3 receivers to that side.
Rattler's thrown for 301. Looking deep, looking into double coverage, and he made a critical mistake. It's intercepted by Aisheem Young.
On the field is an interception for a touchback. First down, Iowa State.
Now, this is a situation where a young quarterback only saw half the field. He only saw the coverage on his intended receiver. He did not see the safety coming from the other side to help out. Aisheem Young was the free safety. He was helping the corner. And Spencer Rattler did not see him. Watch number 1. Read the eyes of the quarterback. Greg Eisworth is the guy in coverage. That's the guy that Spencer Rattler is focused on, trying to get the ball to Rambo. I think Lincoln Riley thought his man got held by Eisworth, but the problem was that Spencer Rattler never paid attention to Aisheem Young, the safety, coming over from the middle.
First career interception for the redshirt freshman, 4-star recruit out of Philadelphia, Aisheem Young. And now Breece Hall with under a minute to go. Gets ahead to the 24-yard line.
Second charge of the half. 30 seconds and late.
And again, I think Lincoln Riley was upset that there wasn't a hold call on Charleston Rambo. He did get held up a little bit towards the end of the route.
Breece Hall, well, he is livid. He was also upset right after they converted that 4th down. They wanted to go tempo and couldn't.
Oklahoma has called the 3rd and final charge out.
Under Lincoln Riley, they were 22-1 coming in true road games. The only loss on the road was last year at K-State.
Well, if you're Breece Hall right now and you get the ball, the biggest thing is ball security. Oklahoma's going to try to strip it.
First down, and it's over. It's a first down, and it's over. And a lot of streaks are over, including the 24 consecutive losses at home for Iowa State against Oklahoma, dating back to 1960.
You can see the coaches on the sideline holding up the Y, the V, the victory formation. It's the greatest call you can make as an offensive coaching staff when you can get into this formation.
It'll be the 24th win, only the 24th win ever for Iowa State against a ranked opponent, and 7 of them have come in the last 5 years under Matt Campbell. He has taken this program to places they haven't been very often. And now they're 2-0 in conference, with Oklahoma 0-2, the preseason favorite. Texas already a loss in conference. Matter of fact, there are only 3 undefeated teams left in the Big 12. Iowa State, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. Only 15,000 here tonight. There'll be many more Cyclone fans who claim they were here.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's too bad it couldn't be filled. They have great fans here, and they've waited a long time for a moment like this. Here's Molly McGrath and Matt Campbell.
Thank you so much, Sean. Coach, this is the first time Iowa State has beaten Oklahoma at home here in Ames since 1960. What is so special about this team? Why is this the group to make history?
Well, you know, honestly, it's our senior class. We've got 16 seniors that came here on really a hope and a dream that we could someday turn Iowa State football around. And, you know, they came here at 3-9 and believed in us and believed in our vision, and they're beginning to make that vision become a reality.
You've been building this program to this point. You look a little bit emotional.
Yeah, you know, my emotion is I'm probably more frustrated that I thought we could have played a lot better tonight. But the reality of it is our kids gutted it out, gave ourselves a chance to win the game. And, you know, we just got to keep building. This is a team and a program that we got to get better every week if we have a chance to be what we want to become.
Yeah, you said you want this team to take the next step. That starts with beating Oklahoma. But what is next? What can this year's team accomplish?
You know, honestly, what's next is a really good Texas Tech team. And, you know, unfortunately here at Iowa State, you got to take it one day at a time. You must get better. And if you don't, then you're never going to reach your full potential. So we just got to keep growing and see where our growth takes us.
All right. Thank you. Congrats on the win,
Thank
Coach.
you.
One of the great young coaches in the country's had interest from the NFL. Was reportedly a candidate Florida State and Arkansas, but he shunned all interest to stay here because he believes it can get done here. And they are getting it done to the delight of Cyclone Nation. What a night for Brock Purdy and the Cyclones. They win 37-30. For Todd, Molly, Sean McDonough saying good night from Ames.